What if I told you that the universe is waiting for you to look at it? That reality doesn't fully exist until you observe it, and that the very act of your conscious attention is what turns the infinite, shimmering soup of quantum possibility into the hard, physical reality you experience every single day. This isn't philosophy. This isn't New Age mysticism. This is the bedrock of quantum mechanics, the most tested and proven theory in the history of science. It's called the observer effect, and it is the single most important discovery ever made. It is the literal, scientific mechanism of creation. In today's video, I'm going to take you on a journey from the laboratory bench to the very edge of reality. I will prove to you, using declassified experiments and peer-reviewed research, that your consciousness is not a passive passenger in your body. It is the active, powerful force that selects your reality from an infinite menu of possibilities. I'm O'Wire the Great from Quantum Reality Lab. What I'm sharing today represents over a century of research from Nobel Prize-winning physicists like Niels Bohr and Werner Heisenberg, to the cutting-edge consciousness studies being conducted right now at institutions like Princeton, Stanford, and the Institute of Noetic Sciences. Understanding the observer effect is not just an intellectual exercise. It is actually the master key. It is the fundamental why behind every manifestation technique that has ever worked. Once you truly grasp this principle, your entire perception of self and reality will shatter. You will stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstance and recognize yourself for what you truly are: an active, participating creator. This is not a passive viewing experience. This is an activation. If you are ready to transition from observer to creator, pause this video and comment, "I am collapsing my new reality" below. It's a powerful declaration. And if you're serious about mastering this science, subscribe and hit the bell. Because this channel is a laboratory, not a lecture hall. And you must stay with me to the very end, because in the final experiment, I will reveal a declassified study on retrocausality. Proves that your consciousness can not only shape your present and future, but can actually influence events that have already happened in the past. Yes, you heard that correctly. Our journey begins with the most famous experiment in all of physics, the double-slit experiment. First performed over a century ago, its results are so bizarre, so contrary to all common sense, that the brilliant physicist Richard Feynman once said it contains the central mystery of quantum mechanics. The setup is simple. Scientists fire tiny particles, like electrons, one by one, at a screen with two vertical slits in it. Behind this is a back wall, a detector that records where each electron lands. If electrons were like tiny marbles, you'd expect to see two simple bands on the back wall, corresponding to the two slits. Simple enough, right? But that's not what happens. When the experiment is run without any observation, the electrons create a complex interference pattern, multiple bands of light and dark. This pattern is the telltale signature of a wave. This means that each individual electron, traveling alone, somehow passed through both slits at the same time and interfered with itself, like a wave in water. This state of infinite possibility is called superposition. This baffled scientists. How can a single particle be in two places at once? So, they decided to peek. They placed a detector by the slits to see which one each electron actually went through. And the moment they did, everything changed. The instant the electrons were observed, the interference pattern vanished. The electrons stopped behaving like waves of possibility and started behaving like predictable, boring particles. They went through one slit or the other, creating the two simple bands that logic predicted. The very act of measurement, of observation, forced the electron to choose a single state out of its infinite possibilities. It collapsed the wave function. Let me be crystal clear. This has been replicated thousands of times. It's not a mistake. Reality literally changes its behavior when we look at it. Now, this concept of wave function collapse can feel incredibly abstract. The mathematics and terminology are dense, and most explanations are confusing. This is a huge problem, because if you can't understand the mechanism, you can't use it effectively. This is why we dedicated 3 entire chapters in the Quantum Breakthrough Protocol PDF to deconstructing the observer effect. We've taken these complex scientific principles and translated them into over 50 pages of simple, clear explanations, infographics, and step-by-step thought experiments. Our guide doesn't just tell you what happens. It shows you how it happens with crystal-clear diagrams and analogies. It's a user manual for reality creation. If you want to move beyond just hearing about this stuff and truly understand it on a deep, functional level, the Protocols PDF Guide is the most comprehensive resource available. You can learn more at the link in the description. For decades, physicists argued about what constituted an observer. Was it the machine? The detector? But a growing mountain of evidence now points to the most profound answer imaginable. It's consciousness itself. Dr. Dean Radin, chief scientist at the Institute of Noetic Sciences, has conducted over 1,000 controlled, peer-reviewed experiments testing the direct influence of human consciousness on quantum systems. In his most famous experiments, participants would focus their attention on a double-slit experiment running in a shielded laboratory. The results were staggering. When participants directed their attention to the slits, intending to know which path the particles took, the interference pattern would measurably diminish. When they relaxed their focus, the wave pattern would return. Their consciousness, and nothing else, was collapsing the wave function from a distance. The statistical significance of these results is not trivial. We are talking about odds against chance of billions to 1. This is as scientifically robust as the data used to approve new medicines. This research is complemented by the Global Consciousness Project, a 25-year experiment run out of Princeton University. It uses a global network of random number generators, RNGs. These are quantum-based devices that should, by all laws of statistics, produce completely random outputs, and most of the time, they do. But during moments of immense, shared global attention, events like 9/11s, the 2004 tsunami, or even global meditations, these random devices become significantly less random. The collective, coherent focus of human consciousness leaves a measurable footprint on the quantum field. What this proves is that you are not separate from the world you see. You are in a constant feedback loop with the quantum field. Your focused, conscious attention is the most powerful creative force in the universe. Now, we come to the most mind-bending aspect of the observer effect, the one I promised at the beginning. An experiment so strange, it seems to violate the law of cause and effect. It's called the delayed choice quantum eraser. It's a more complex version of the double-slit experiment, but the conclusion is what matters. In this experiment, scientists let a particle go through the slits without observing it, allowing it to create an interference wave pattern. The information about which path it took is recorded, but then immediately scrambled or erased after the particle has already hit the back wall. Here is the impossible part. When the scientists choose to erase the which path information after the event has already happened, the interference pattern retroactively appears. If they choose not to erase it, the pattern remains as 2 simple particle bands. Read that again. A choice made in the present changes a physical event that already happened in the past. This phenomenon is called retrocausality. It suggests that at the quantum level, time does not flow in a straight line. The future can influence the past. Your present observation can change the nature of a past event. What does this mean for you? It means that the past is not fixed. The traumas, the failures, the regrets, they exist in a state of superposition. By changing your observation of a past event now, by consciously choosing to find the lesson, the strength, or the gift in a past trauma, you can literally change its energetic imprint on your present reality. You can collapse the wave function of a past event into a version that empowers you, rather than a version that limits you. This is the scientific basis for healing the past. So, if our observation creates reality, why is my life not exactly as I want it? The answer lies in the quality of your observation. A scattered, unfocused, contradictory consciousness creates a scattered, unfocused, contradictory reality. A clear, focused, coherent consciousness creates a clear, focused, coherent reality. Becoming a coherent observer is the single most important skill you can develop. It requires two things. 1. Clarity of intention. You must know exactly what reality you want to collapse. A vague desire for more money is a weak signal. A precise intention. I am joyfully receiving $10,000 from unexpected sources by the end of this month for the purpose of funding my new business is a powerful, coherent signal. 2. Purity of emotion. Your emotional state must match the frequency of the reality you desire. You cannot collapse the reality of abundance while feeling the emotion of lack. You must generate the feeling of your wish fulfilled before it manifests. This is the hardest part, and it is where most people fail. This is not just theory. The HeartMath Institute has done extensive research showing that when your heart and brain are in a state of coherence, it's typically associated with feelings like gratitude, love, and appreciation. Your personal electromagnetic field becomes more powerful and orderly. You literally become a more powerful transmitter of intention into the quantum field. Achieving this level of mental and emotional coherence is a skill. It requires structure, discipline, and a clear framework. You can't just hope to be coherent, you have to train it. And this is exactly why the Quantum Breakthrough Protocol was created. The core of the protocol is a 50-page PDF guide that serves as a complete operating manual for your consciousness. It's not a book of theories. It's a workbook filled with structured exercises, daily checklists, and manifestation frameworks designed to build your coherence muscle. It gives you the exact journaling prompts to clarify your intention with laser precision. It provides the step-by-step emotional signature training to generate the feeling of your wish fulfilled on demand. If you're tired of scattered results and want the structured, it's a scientific blueprint for becoming a coherent creator. The protocol is your next step. The link is at the top of the description. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. The power that spins galaxies and ignites stars is the same power that is looking out through your eyes right now. The observer effect is the scientific proof that you are a divine creator, endowed with the ability to choose your reality. Stop seeing yourself as a victim of your circumstances. Your circumstances are the result of your past observations. Start today by consciously and deliberately choosing the reality you prefer, holding it in your mind's eye with clarity and feeling it in your heart with gratitude. If this training has shifted your perception of who you are, please do two things. Hit that like button to send a coherent signal to the algorithm, and share the single most mind-blowing part of this video for you in the comments below. And of course, subscribe to the lab for more trainings that empower you with the science of creation. Thank you for joining me. Now go collapse a masterpiece. Before we close, I want to give you a practical framework for understanding the 3 levels at which you can apply the observer effect in your daily life. Level 1. Passive observation. This is where most people live. They observe their current reality, their bank account, their relationships, their health, and accept it as fixed. They are collapsing the wave function of what is over and over again, reinforcing the same reality. This is the level of victimhood. Level 2. Intentional observation. This is where manifestation begins. You consciously choose to observe a desired reality instead of your current reality. You visualize, affirm, and feel the reality you want. You are attempting to collapse a new wave function. This is powerful, but it requires discipline and consistency. Most people oscillate between level 1 and level 2, which creates mixed results. Level 3, quantum coherence. This is mastery. At this level, your observation is so clear, so emotionally aligned, and so unwavering that the quantum field has no choice but to reflect it back to you rapidly and consistently. You are not hoping or wishing. You are commanding reality through the purity of your coherent signal. This is the level of true creators. The journey from level 1 to level 3 is the entire purpose of our work at Quantum Reality Lab. It's not a weekend workshop. It's a systematic training of your consciousness. And if you're ready to make that journey, we've built the roadmap for you.